Okay, so over the past couple of months or so, we've been covering some issues going on with increased ID usage whenever it comes to YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Discord content, and all of this kind of stuff, which we've been chatting about. And it all goes back to the original tweet that we covered months and months and months ago, being the Bell tweet, talking about how YouTube wants us to constantly provide our IDs while our accounts are constantly being hacked by crypto scammers. And obviously that is 100% true, and a lot of people have been getting behind this post, as well as some other VTubers have been speaking out about it, because recently it seems like there's been even more situations going on with a different platform, not YouTube this time, which is going to affect a lot more VTubers than the Discord situation, which we covered the other day, right? The Discord one, obviously, there's a couple of things that you can maybe do, maybe get around and things like that, but it seems that this time it has gotten pretty bad with this kind of announcement coming out recently saying Twitch now requires some new affiliates to verify their identity through Persona before receiving their first payout. Users report needing to submit a government issue photo ID along with a selfie with no alternative verification method offered, according to Twitch support. So yeah, a lot of people are not happy about this whatsoever, because let's be real, whenever you're a Twitch affiliate, obviously I'm a Twitch affiliate, you need to provide your tax information. You need to provide a lot of information that is very, very, personal and whatever already, and that should be enough to verify that you are a real person, including stuff like your tax number and things like that, which obviously, verifies who you are, right? But for some reason, whenever it comes to your first payout, they need to get your photo ID. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that you fill out all of this information and all of this kind of stuff, and then they're just like, oh yeah, we still need ID to verify it's you, which I think is crazy, because some people may argue, why is this an issue? Because of the fact that, oh hey, you're already giving them your information, why not just give them your face as well? But the problem is, this isn't even going directly to Twitch like it usually does. This is going to Persona, which is obviously a facial ID recognition thing, which they recently just got busted for sending people's faces off to kind of government things to identify criminals and whatever, which I think is crazy, right? Like, literally not so long after we had this whole thing with Discord working with Persona, and they apparently have been sending their face estimation stuff and their data to kind of criminal what do you call it, like databases where they cross-check the faces and whatever, which I think is pretty crazy. And obviously some people were able to get the code for that one, and recently there is actually recent news, literally the same time this news came out, Discord actually dropped them. Discord got rid of them, and they said sorry. They're like, damn, okay, yeah, no, we get it, like, we don't want to work with them, and yeah, they dropped them. But at the same time, Twitch then picks them up, and now it gets even worse for VTubers who obviously stream on the platform, because Discord, sure, whatever, I think it is one of these things where it sucks because a lot of VTubers use Discord to, keep all of their kind of fans together and to put out kind of pings and stuff whenever videos go live, all of that kind of stuff. But, there is a world where you can live without Discord, right? It sure wouldn't be convenient, but there is a world. But with things like Twitch, where it is essentially their job to go live streaming on there, it gets a little bit worse when you have to verify your face just to be able to get your payouts. And obviously, this is going to be a big problem for a lot of faceless VTubers who obviously don't show their face whatsoever and are scared about it getting leaked alongside a lot of the other stuff that Persona have been getting leaked. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the data gets leaked too, because of course there's been many leaks in the past with them, and there's also been this case of them sending off the data as well to people, which many people are just super untrustworthy, right? And rightfully so. People are like, to get a payout, isn't this the kind of fucking around with the law? If affiliate payments require ID verification, it should be stated when signing the contract, not whenever it's time to pay out. I said I hate them, and obviously, yes, Twitch be like a little message from Twitch HQ to our baby streamers. Congrats on affiliate. Now please dox yourself via personal selfie. Which I thought was pretty, yes, that is essentially how it is, right? It said, didn't Persona get hacked recently with Discord doing the same thing? Which, yes, that is true. It said somebody's really pushing the Persona verification software which yeah, obviously it seems like someone is, and it tends to always be persona whenever it comes to these new verify facial ID things. It always seems to be persona, the company persona, that are doing it. There are a couple of other companies out there which have been used before, but again, persona seems to be the one that people tend to go to for some reason. People say, Twitch, hey small streamer, want to get your first $50 payout? Cool, just hand over your government ID and a nice selfie to our shady third-party pal persona first. No opt-out, no alternatives, just trust us, bro. Which obviously, yeah, that is exactly how it feels to a lot of people, and it can affect a lot of smaller VTubers in the sense of, it just doesn't really make sense, right? Because there's tons of faceless streamers on there, not even just VTubers that go live and don't want to show their face, and I think they're totally allowed to, right? But again, for some reason they feel very, I guess, obliged to get people to do that. Obviously, Dark here posting just a refresher for the people on what persona does. Obviously, they put it here saying green text summary of the article. I'm not following them, what the hell? Green text summary of the article. Be me, computer nerd, looking into the company that checks your ID when you sign up for websites. Persona stumble across a weird hidden web address, OpenAI watchlist DB. Why the hell does OpenAI have a watch list? Dig a little deeper and find the company's secret portal for government agencies. Some idiot programmer accidentally left the site's entire source code completely public. Didn't have to hack, didn't need a password, just literally clicked download. Start reading the code to see what they're actually doing with your data. Turns out when you upload your ID and selfie to use ChatGPT, it does way more than just check your age. An AI scans your face to see if you look suspicious. It compares your selfie to a massive database of world leaders, politicians, and criminals. It runs over 200 background checks on you in seconds, including tracking your crypto wallets. Saves your face in a biometric database for up to 3 years. If this AI decides it doesn't like your face or background, it flags you. The system has a built-in button for the feds to instantly file a suspicious activity report on you to financial police and intelligence agencies. The exact same company taking your passport photo for a chatbot is running a massive surveillance machine for the government. So yeah, obviously that's a pretty crazy reveal, right, in terms of what is going on. And yeah, people don't want this to happen. People don't want their information to be taken, especially in this kind of way. And people saying they already have our tax information. So does YouTube. Why do they need to scan our face if they've got our tax information? Which I think is pretty crazy because, of course, they do have all of that information. But we all know the truth as to why. It's because they want to collect as much data on you as possible. They want to be able to sell that data. They want to be able to move that data. They want to be able to do stuff with that data. And that is the big reason as to why they're doing it. If anybody is asking why, it's because of that, right? They want the data. Data is valuable, so they'll try their best to get it however they want, even if it isn't necessarily beneficial to the platform, right? I feel like, obviously asking for all of this kind of face verification stuff, right? It's not very beneficial to anybody. But of course, it's beneficial to YouTube, to Twitch, to Discord, all of these people who will then get to use this information for whatever they like. And as I said, it's whether they sell it, whether they use it to further kind of give you promotions, whatever, whether they do it, to kind of give to governments. I don't know. But again, obviously, it's crazy. And all of these kind of companies are getting a cut from Persona, I'm assuming, in terms of how much data that they've collected and stuff on you, including your facial recognition data, which I think is crazy, right? Obviously, there's been some query tweets on the Discord one as well, and it just sucks, right? And I don't think enough VTubers and stuff are talking about this because it really does affect the smaller VTuber sphere. Now, of course, I don't know if this is the case with partners as well. I'm assuming it's not, but again, I kind of find that crazy, like the fact that they put it for affiliates but not partners. Like, if you're gonna do it, at least do it all the way through. I mean, sure, like, I'm happy that the partners are safe and whatever, but like, let's be real, like, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense if you're doing it just for one group of people, because you give pretty much exactly the same amount of kind of information. But oh well. But yeah, I think that a lot more VTubers should speak up about this, because the only one that I've seen really speaking up about it recently is saruei with the Discord, the facial recognition stuff. But again, obviously this is affecting a lot of smaller VTubers rather than the bigger ones, so maybe that's why we haven't really seen much of a response, because it's not really affecting them. But of course, one day it might affect them, right? It might affect them if they bring it to partners, or if they bring it to some other platform like YouTube, which they have been planning on doing anyways. So yeah, I mean, that is essentially all there is for this video. I just kind of wanted to keep you guys aware about that, because again, it is a big problem for any new or, you know, smaller VTuber that maybe wants to, you know, start up on Twitch. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to give your face to them if that's what you want to do. And again, as I just showed you, that's all the kind of stuff that they do with that information. So definitely be careful whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. And yeah, maybe we'll see a big switch in terms of VTubers moving to different platforms in the future. But hey, we'll have to see, right? But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off again. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. They've also got 20% off at the moment, so I definitely recommend going there right now, because again, it only lasts for this week. So yeah, use the same code Kazza, and you get 20% off, and it ends at the end of the week. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.